This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Henley residents are hoping their township will be better protected from flooding following a long battle with the Regional Council. An Invercargill City Councillor is supporting the Oyster and Food Festival Trust's bid to demolish the Club Hotel in Bluff. And descendants gathered in the Catlins on Saturday for the reopening of an historic cemetery. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. Henley residents are hoping their township will be better protected from flooding after a long battle with the Otago Regional Council. Following several floods in the past 9 years, the council is finally restoring nearby flood banks.
The lower Tairi River breaching its flood banks, seen here in file footage from last year's November floods. Henley resident Alan Innes is just one of the many locals affected by regular floods, and he's pleased after a long wait the Otago Regional Council is finally maintaining the stop bank again.
They've told us that they're going to put 200 mil over the top of the whole length of the flood bank, which is good.
The settlement lies next to the Tairi River, southwest of Dunedin Airport, and during floods road access to Henley is often cut off and silt covers the streets. They've been battling for almost 10 years to get the Otago Regional Council to maintain the bank.
After 2010 flood, we did an informal survey of the flood bank and found there were spots of it up to 600 millimetres lower than the highest part. So obviously a flood bank's only as good as its lowest point. So we then approached the council and the saga began. And you probably haven't got long enough for me to tell you the whole story, but we've come to 2019 where they're looking like they're going to do something, which is encouraging after such a long time.
After last year's floods, the council acknowledged work was not happening there as quickly as it would have liked, but there were higher priority sites around Dunedin and the Henley repairs had to wait. Innes is hoping the work will be prioritised in an efficient manner.
I'm just hoping that they'll top up the low spots before they add to the top. So yeah, that's encouraging. It's only taken 10 years for them to look at doing that.
The council is hoping to complete the maintenance of the flood bank before Christmas and also install a third outflow pipe near to the other two existing pipes to improve drainage into the Tairi River after floods. The council's committed $16,000 to these works. In Henley, The South Today.
Dunedin shoppers were treated to a visit from former supermodel Rachel Hunter. The 50-year-old former Playboy pin-up who grew up in Auckland was visiting to promote sales of her new book called Tour of Beauty. Hunter told a small crowd at Dunedin's Golden Centre that her book had been inspired by a year-long world tour. She says she visited various Asian countries and learned of their ancient health and beauty practices. The book has also been turned into a television show broadcast in over 140 countries around the world. An Invercargill City Councillor is supporting the Oyster and Food Festival Trust's bid to demolish the Club Hotel in Bluff. The Trust has been denied permission to demolish the decaying and abandoned hotel due to its listed heritage value.
A rundown building only fit to be bowled over. That's the opinion of Kylie Fowler of the Bluff Oyster and Food Festival regarding the former Club Hotel, which the Festival Trust bought back in 2014. Since then, they've applied for resource consent to demolish the hotel. But it's a Category 2 heritage building, and a request's been declined by the Invercargill City Council because of its heritage value.
For us, we can't afford to maintain it, nor do we have a reason to use it. I mean, you could never have it as part of the festival. To run a festival inside a building, even in a part of it, is just logistically a nightmare. But we don't have the money, we don't have the need, and we've advertised it and we've had no biters of anyone interested in purchasing it. So what else do you do?
Thieves have been breaking into the empty building and tearing up the floor to steal copper piping, as well as just trashing the place. The Oyster Festival staff are all volunteers, and concerned about liability if an intruder were to be injured in the decaying building. Fowler says if the Trust was allowed to demolish the building, the festival would have more space to grow.
Having this down would A, remove the liability we feel is being imposed on us, but also allow us to have more space to make the current festival more comfortable for people.
City Councillor Peter Fett agrees that demolishing the decrepit hotel is the only solution.
And it's an eyesore for all the festival goers.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the point that the council has instructed us that the verandas needs to be dealt with, which means more money.
Since applying for permission to demolish, the Trust has spent around $80,000 on reports and documentation, which is almost the profit of the entire festival. In Bluff, the South Today.
The director of Dunedin's Public Art Gallery has taken on more responsibilities after being named director of the Toitū Otago Settlers Museum as well as the Chinese Garden. Cam McCracken took on all three roles in an acting capacity last year. Today, those three directorial roles were made official. McCracken has been director of the Art Gallery since 2012. He says closer integration will allow the three institutions to make an even stronger contribution to Dunedin's development. Descendants gathered in the Catlins on Saturday for the reopening of a magical place. Around 80 people attended a ceremony to mark the reopening of the historic Chaslin's Heathfield Cemetery near Papatoai.
Remembering long-departed loved ones. Just one of the people taking the opportunity to visit Chaslin's Cemetery in the Catlins, which had been closed for more than 50 years. About 80 people visited the 121-year-old cemetery to mark the official reopening on Saturday.
Gradually got it together with all the money and the volunteers helping us, and finally we've got a nice track in here to the cemetery, and we've got these really good panels that tell the story of both the Chaslins and the Heathfield Cemetery.
Volunteers restored the cemetery grounds and cleared a 250-metre walking track to get to the remote location.
The gorse and broom particularly, overgrown everything, and the drainage blocked the track and all those things until people forgot that the cemetery was here, really.
The last recorded burial in the cemetery was in 1941, as the community around it shrank due to the decline of logging in the area. It was officially closed in 1969, before the cemetery gates reopened again at the weekend. In the Catlins, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. The South Dunedin Busking Festival attracts thousands at the weekend, and an interagency Waiata group entertained folks in a government department recently. See you after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر.
Namainor, welcome back. Queenstown Police are forensically testing alcohol bottles and cans left around Arrowtown School on Friday night. They're attempting to find those who vandalised the school sometime after 5 p.m. on Friday. 2 external heat pumps were kicked and removed from the walls. The walls also had large holes smashed in them. Police say graffiti had been scrawled across some exterior walls and a small fire was also lit in an open area on the school grounds. Police would like to hear from anyone who saw or heard anything suspicious on Friday night. Organisers of the South Dunedin Busking Festival were blessed with one of the warmest days of spring for the event on Saturday. More than 30 acts entered, volunteering to be scrutinised by the trio of judges.
36 entrants across 5 categories took part in the annual South Dunedin Busking Festival at the weekend. Competition was tough across all sections, with people showing a variety of talents. It was sometimes tough for judges to compare some quite different acts. The under-13 section was won by 11-year-old Lockie Ing Aram, who's been playing guitar since February this year. Second place went to Dancing Queens Stasia Tucker and Lucia Mori, with 9-year-old drumming sensation Brody tying with Sylvie Harper for third. In the individuals 13 to 18 years, Oscar Tobic came first, Quinn Hardy second, and Paige Milburn was third. A gorilla won the 18 and over individuals, with children's entertainer Shelley J and Ollie Crook sharing second place. M&M's, or Mariah Tangapiao and Michaela Haupapa, won the 13 to 18-year-old groups, ahead of Samuel and Rosalie in second, and Charlotte and Catherine coming third. And finally, in the music group 18 and over contest, the Ellie Jackson duo were first, a cappella group Diversity Quartet was second, and a Kamsan tribe of ballet dancers were third. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Dunedin Waiata group that boasts 80 members has attracted people from a wide range of government departments. However, while they perform beautiful songs, it's unlikely you'll ever see them perform in public.
Performing songs in the Maori language. This accomplished Waiata group is made up from employees of ACC, Ministry of Social Development, as well as the New Zealand Police.
About 2 years we've been going, and started from a group of probably 6 or 7. And I recall one of the first times that we got together, out of that 6 and 7, only probably 2 got up and actually sung. And quickly developed into more than that, and now we have around 80 people.
Inspector Damien Rangitutia says the group's emphasis is on learning Maori culture and feeling the joy, which he says can be a spiritual experience.
You can't help but be caught up in the wairua of the room, and we believe that it's a spiritual event at times, and the things and the themes that we sing about are joyous things to sing.
While the group sometimes performs at small events, such as the opening of this new ACC office in Dunedin earlier this year, its focus is not about performing in public.
First and foremost, it's a platform for us to be Māori, our Māori staff, but we invite anyone into the group to learn tikanga, to learn reo, and to take back to our works, back to our agencies, and really drive home in each other's agency the importance of highlighting Māori, te ao Māori within each other, in each other's workplace.
In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a group of Oamaru residents took part in a colour run which got quite messy, and we have a look at the weather heading into the week. See you soon.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Miller's Flat Bakery, proudly opening this Labour weekend after a long labour of love. The Restoration Trust has brought back to life this historic part of the main Central Otago transport route. Come see the only wood-fired bakery oven in New Zealand. Turn off at the Miller's Flat Blue Bridge and bring the whole family to enjoy some tasty fresh baked goods the old-fashioned way, before electricity. That's the Miller's Flat Bakery opening Labour weekend. Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Thanks for staying with us. A crowd of nearly 500 people ran 5 kilometres around Oamaru's racecourse while being pelted with various shades of coloured powder along the way. The Rainbow Run is now in its 7th year and always raises funds for a good cause.
Participants making their way around Oamaru racecourse for the annual 5 kilometre Rainbow Run on Saturday. Sport Waitaki coordinator Mitch McRae says he's happy with the turnout.
There's about 480, so just under 500. That's, anything around the 500 we're doing pretty good. Obviously the weather plays a big part, and a lot of people just rocked up on the day.
Runners came along not just for the exercise, but the thrill of being pelted with coloured powder of various shades.
Well, I think it just adds, with the paint being thrown, getting exercise in, walk or run, but adding that element of throwing the paint makes it a little bit more attractive for people and enjoyable for everyone.
Mick Ray says the event raises funds for the charity Sporting Chance.
The money raised today goes back into the community, to kids from disadvantaged backgrounds, to contribute to their footwear or pay for their sports fees.
Over the last year, $8,000 has been allocated to around 50 needy children of North Otago. In Oamaru, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Henley residents are hoping their township will be better protected from flooding following a long battle with the Regional Council. An Invercargill City Councillor is supporting the Oyster and Food Festival's Trust's bid to demolish the Club Hotel in Bluff. And descendants gathered in the Catlins on Saturday for the reopening of an historic cemetery that was closed for 50 years until the weekend. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Barry Stewart. Barry.
Hello, Simon. Arthur Street School, Dunedin's, or Otago's oldest school, is about to become New Zealand's newest school.
Oh, wow.
After being given $10.9 million to completely rebuild its property. So a fleeting change there, that status won't last for too long. Bowling club in Mosgiel, it's likely, the bowling club has been bowled to make way for houses, but the RSA has decided it will open its, the Mosgiel RSA has decided it will open its doors again. So changes there. Parking changes, including some price increases at Queenstown Airport, will take effect on November 1, so we have that announcement. Plenty of good sports action tomorrow in tomorrow's paper. Of course, we wrap up all the happenings of the Rugby World Cup. Japan losing, of course, and the Box winning. So, amongst other things, and some exciting sports news for rally fans. Finnish star Mikko Hirvonen will contest next year's Otago Classic rally. So that's a huge coup for that event. And the annual White Island race held off Sinclair. We held this weekend, and we have the story of an 80-year-old who competed in the first race, and he's going to have another crack.
Wow.
So we have a wee story on that tomorrow as well.
That's great. Thank you, Barry.
All right.
And now time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view of a gorilla playing an accordion at the South Dunedin Busking Festival. Looking at the situation, a cold week ahead as a southwesterly airflow blows over the region and cold fronts make their way north from the Southern Ocean, bringing periods of showers and strong winds. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are set for grey skies, showers and 12 degrees. Across to the northeast, it's better over here than out west. Nelson and Blenheim can expect a cloud or two and 18 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, expect cloudy skies across this area. Kaikoura, you reach 14. Have the Brollyhandy and Christchurch and Ashburton, where you're both in for showers and 14 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all expect strong southwesterlies and rain, with just 9 degrees for you all. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes region, you can plan for fresh southwesterlies and rain for all across the region. Wanaka and Queenstown, you're heading for 10. Alexandra, you should expect 11. While Tiano, you're set to reach just 9 degrees. Up to the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate southwesterlies with rain later. Timaru should get to 12 and Oamaru 11. It will be similar inland with Twizel and Amarama due for fresh southwesterlies and rain later, looking at a high of 10 degrees for you both. In Dunedin, rain clearing tonight with southwesterlies and an overnight low of 7 degrees. Fine at first tomorrow with a few sunny periods, but cloud increasing during the morning and rain developing during the afternoon. Plan for a high of 11 and a low of 5. Showers clearing but remaining cloudy and cold on Wednesday with gusty southwesterlies easing slowly, looking at a high of 9 and a low of 5. And in Invercargill, cloudy tonight with periods of rain and moderate westerlies and an overnight low of 6. Rain easing to showers during the afternoon tomorrow with fresh, cold southwesterly winds, a high of 10 and a low of 5. Showers clearing during the day on Wednesday with strong, cold southwesterlies easing slowly, a high of 9 and a low of 5. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and week. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.